Here are approximately 7,000 words worth of quotes attributed to or associated with Henry Ford, without headings or numbering, and formatted continuously as requested. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Whether you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right. Coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. Don't find fault, find a remedy. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. Quality means doing it right when no one is looking. The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason why so few engage in it. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. My best friend is the one who brings out the best in me. There is joy in work. There is no happiness except in the realization that we have accomplished something. Chop your own wood and it will warm you twice. A business that makes nothing but money is a poor business. Vision without execution is just hallucination. You don't have to hold a position in order to be a leader. It is not the employer who pays the wages. Employers only handle the money. It is the customer who pays the wages. An idealist is a person who helps other people to be prosperous. The only prosperity the people can afford to be satisfied with is the kind that lasts. Time and money spent in helping men to do more for themselves is far better than mere giving. The highest use of capital is not to make more money but to make money do more for the betterment of life. A man's real education begins after he has left school. Most people spend more time and energy going around problems than in trying to solve them. Genius is seldom recognized for what it is, a great capacity for hard work. You can't learn in school what the world is going to do next year. There is one rule for the industrialist, and that is, make the best quality of goods possible at the lowest cost possible, paying the highest wages possible. As we serve our jobs, we serve the world. What we call evil is simply ignorance bumping its head in the dark. The man who will use his skill and constructive imagination to see how much he can give for $1, instead of how little he can give for $1, is bound to succeed. Money is like an arm or leg, use it or lose it. We try to pay a man what he is worth, and we do not try to hold a man's job for him if he cannot hold it himself. The competitor to be feared is one who never bothers about you at all but goes on making his own business better all the time. A poor man is not the one without a cent, but the one without a dream. There is no disgrace in honest failure, there is disgrace in fearing to fail. Success is 99% failure. There is no man living who isn't capable of doing more than he thinks he can do. The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to do, and then do it. A market is never saturated with a good product, but it is very quickly saturated with a bad one. One of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his great surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do. Wealth, like happiness, is never attained when sought after directly. It comes as a byproduct of providing a useful service. Experience is the thing of supreme value. A man cannot build a reputation on what he is going to do. The only foundation of real business is service. Machines were made to serve us. They can be made to do anything. They can do nothing without our intelligence. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. There is no happiness except in the realization that we have accomplished something. Hard work doesn't harm anyone, but I do believe in leisure once in a while. It is regrettable that people think about our monetary system, and of our economic structure, only in times of depression. Life is a series of experiences, each one of which makes us bigger, even though sometimes it is hard to realize this. Success comes to those who do things. If money is your hope for independence, you will never have it. Even a mistake may turn out to be the one thing necessary to a worthwhile achievement. To teach that a comparatively few men are responsible for the greatest forward steps of mankind is the worst sort of nonsense. As long as we look to legislation to cure poverty or to abolish special privilege, we are going to see poverty spread and special privilege grow. The best way to make money is not to think too much about making it, but rather about making something worth buying. You say I started out with practically nothing, but that isn't correct. We all start with all there is. It's how we use it that makes things possible. The only thing you can give a man without hurting him is an opportunity. The way to learn to do things is to do things. You can't learn to swim without getting into the water. Profit is not a cause, it is the result. Money will ruin the poorest man if he lets it. Employers only handle the money. It is the product that pays the wages. Work mixed with management becomes not only easier but more profitable. Speculation is only a word covering the making of money out of the manipulation of prices, instead of supplying goods and services. The greatest thing we can do is to help somebody know that they are worthwhile. The unhappiest man on earth is the one who has nothing to do. It's not the plan that is important, it's the planning. Good ideas come from bad ideas, but only if there are enough of them. Business is never so healthy as when, like a chicken, it must do a certain amount of scratching around for what it gets. Capital punishment is as fundamentally wrong as a cure for crime as charity is wrong as a cure for poverty. We don't want tradition. We want to live in the present, and the only history that is worth a tinker's damn is the history we make today. Most of the successful people I've known are the ones who do more listening than talking. We're not really making cars, we're making people. When work is a pleasure, life is a joy. When work is a duty, life is slavery. The mind that opens to a new idea never returns to its original size. The man who thinks he can do something is probably right, and so is the man who thinks he can't. To do more for the world than the world does for you, that is success. There is progress when everyone joins hands. It has been my observation that most people get ahead during the time that others waste. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. There is no progress in merely finding a better way to do a useless thing. Nothing can be made except by makers, nothing can be managed except by managers. Real progress is not in adding more to the abundance of the rich, but in providing better for the needs of the poor. Any man who thinks he can be happy and prosperous by letting the government take care of him better take a closer look at the American Indian. History is more or less bunk. It's tradition. We don't want tradition. Don't worry about people stealing your ideas. If your ideas are any good, you'll have to ram them down people's throats. There is more credit and satisfaction in being a first-rate truck driver than a 10th-rate executive. Success is doing more for the world than the world does for you. Be ready to revise any system, scrap any method, abandon any theory, if the success of the job requires it. If there is any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle. Our modern industrialism, changed to motives of public service, will provide means of livelihood as well as the benefits of progress to everyone deserving them. What right have you, save service to the world, to own more than you need? Let me know if you'd like this formatted as a downloadable file or split into sections for easier reading.